Okay, you guys want literally the perfect tagline to sum up this movie? Listen up. Here it is. Wait till you get a load of me. That's just... Give an award to whoever wrote that tagline. Just good job. Perfect. Just perfection. Anyway, hey there guys, what's up? It's Autobot Mike 18 here, back with another movie review. Guys, I know it's weird hearing me say that. I have not done a movie review since January? Like, about a month ago. I did right around the same time, about a month ago. I know, it's been so long. I'm so sorry, but not only have I not just had the free time to do a movie review, but the movies that have come out in the last few weeks, But now we're out of January, we're in February, so naturally I will hopefully start to give you guys more reviews. But the reason why I was just so busy and the videos have been very sparse the last few weeks, I was working on a film, I've been back at school, I am just really, really busy. It's very hard for me to find free time, so I really apologize, guys. Nevertheless, I went out. I had a free weekend. I had a free moment this Valentine's Day weekend. Got a lot of big new releases, and obviously the biggest one, and I went to go see it, and that is Deadpool. That's right, guys. Deadpool is now out in theaters, and I watched it opening night, which was probably not the greatest of ideas because it was crowded as hell. A lot of people wanted to go flock to the theaters to see Deadpool, and this is the first of like 10 comic book movies we're getting this year. Not complaining, I'm all for it, man. But yeah, we're getting a lot of comic book movies this year. This is the first of them all, and it's pretty exciting. A lot of people were really, really hyping the hell out of Deadpool. Like, I had watched the trailers and just comments and everything. People were just like, this is going to be amazing. This is going to be the Deadpool movie we need as comic book lovers, okay? And me personally, I wasn't all that pumped for Deadpool, probably because I'm not too familiar with the lore, with the character himself from the comics, and I'm also not, I wasn't crazy, just blown away by the trailers. So for that reason, I was definitely intrigued to see Deadpool, but I wasn't saying I was overhyping it, because I really wasn't. But getting into the movie itself, plot-wise, the movie focuses on the character of Wade Wilson, played by Ryan Reynolds. Now, Wade Wilson is diagnosed with terminal cancer at some point in this movie, thus putting a strain on his chances of survival, okay? And this especially affects his relationship with his girlfriend, Vanessa, who he is deeply fond of. And the two of them are at odds. He's probably going to die. They're so much in love, but, he's not going to be around much longer. So he is incredibly desperate to get help. He seeks out the help of this organization, essentially, that can take away the cancer, but it leaves devastating results in terms of his appearance. So then he decides to don the mask and the dual swords and become Deadpool to hunt the man who disformed his whole body, essentially, and ruined what he feels ruined his chances of, being appreciated or being loved by his girlfriend anymore, because he looks like a freaking deformity. So that is essentially the plot behind Deadpool. And I know, by the way I just summed it up, a lot of people are probably like, okay, this is just another origin story. I'll just wait and go see Deadpool 2, where we'll already be introduced to the character. No origin story needed, okay? Don't need to see any of that. But I'm going to say this, but yes, most of this movie is origin story. We are setting up the character of Deadpool. Why? Because it's the first Deadpool movie we're getting, so we're going to need origin story. But I'm giving this movie right off the bat, I'm just going to say this right off the bat, I'm giving this movie points for doing the origin story in a different and interesting way in terms of how the movie is cut together and how the script is written. But anyway, I'll get to that later. Getting into Deadpool, the movie, just what I think about this movie. Holy crap, guys. I loved Deadpool. I had a blast watching this movie. And this is coming from the guy who, as I said earlier in this video, I wasn't all that crazy pumped for Deadpool. I was just like, looks okay. And again, the only time I've been associated with the character of Deadpool, the only time I know anything about Deadpool in terms of seeing him in a movie was in X-Men Origins Wolverine, okay? And Ryan Reynolds portrayed him in that movie as well. And yes, it didn't go that well. That movie was not that great. So obviously I didn't have a very lasting impression of Deadpool. So naturally I wasn't all that pumped for this, probably for that reason as well. And since I haven't read the comics of movies I go into beforehand, I wasn't, like everybody else who was really, really pumped for it. But I gotta say, I walked out of this movie, I know everything I need to know about Deadpool, or mostly everything I need to know about the character and the person himself, the character of Wade Wilson. I know everything about him. I know his sense of humor. I know the way he thinks. I got into this character's head so incredibly well, and that is because Ryan Reynolds is absolutely fantastic in this movie. It is so criminal that we got exposed to him as Deadpool in Origins Wolverine, because that movie was so overstuffed as it was, and the fact that they just completely just overrode him, in the movie. He was just like in 2 big scenes as Deadpool, and that was really all we got of Ryan Reynolds. The fact that that is the way that went down in that movie, and we didn't get exposed to that character properly in that movie, is just, that's just a shame on that movie. But this movie does this character justice. From what I'm hearing about how awesome of a character Deadpool is in the comics, how smart-mouthed he is, and just how wisecracking he is, I got that sense of this movie 100%. Every single aspect of this movie's script, the dialogue, the editing choices, the acting, the freaking action sequences, every single thing works on every single aspect. I had an utter blast watching this movie. The best R-rated comic book movie I've seen since Kick-Ass, for sure, goes to Deadpool, okay? Without a doubt. I just... I loved it. I loved every bit of it, alright? I had a lot of fun. I really did. I know I keep saying that. But that is the one word to describe this movie. It is just bloody, it's violent, it's vulgar, it is outrageous, it's over the top as hell, okay, in terms of humor, in terms of breaking the fourth wall, and referencing things in pop culture, and self-referencing characters within the movie itself, or characters in the Marvel universe, or whatever it is. Oh my goodness, just everything worked. From the minute I saw the opening title sequences in Deadpool, guys, I knew I was in for a ride, okay? Whoever thought of the opening title sequences, man, just genius, okay? Genius. I wish that one day, whenever I make a big movie, I wish I would have thought of doing something like that, because I totally would have done that if I thought of that, okay? But now it's already happened, so what can you do? But, no, and what blows me away even more thinking about it, and I didn't realize this until I got out of the movie, and I looked up the director. The director is, I think, Tim Miller, or something like that. Something Miller. I think it's Tim Miller. Never directed a movie before. This is his first feature film. Bravo, sir. Bravo. You're going places. That's all I gotta say. How lucky is that to get your first feature film to be Deadpool, the first Deadpool movie? You're set. You're set. Your agent's set. That's it. You're good. You're getting jobs, man. That's awesome. No, but all kidding aside, getting into everything that I just utterly loved about this movie. I know, again, as I said earlier, the whole origin story thing, yes, we are getting exposed to the character of Deadpool. So yes, there is elements of having this as an origin story. But by the way the film is cut together, it doesn't feel all that like an origin story. And that's just what I absolutely love and praise about this movie. And the script doesn't feel like a carbon copy superhero movie where, just all the style seems monotone. It seems like we've seen it before. Because I will utterly say this. The style of this movie I have not seen in another comic book movie. And that's what makes Deadpool so original and inviting, to have this sort of refreshing take on a comic book movie, on a hardcore R-rated, bloody, pulpy, violent, gory, just vulgar, just sex-filled comic movie. And that is just how amazing and how awesome Deadpool is. the dialogue is 100% witty and just utterly outrageous throughout. I love just all of the references to pop culture, to Marvel, to I love how they make references to they make references to freaking Deadpool in his other appearances in movies. That's all I'm gonna say. I love that. It's just genius. They make references to Ryan Reynolds' career in general. Okay, they reference Fox, the studio itself, like 3 times in the movie. Who does that? A movie as smart as Deadpool. That's who does that. Okay. I just love all that. There's so many other great just Marvel references, and oh my goodness, there is a hysterical Liam Neeson reference in this movie. I could not stop laughing. Okay, the laughs are so high in this movie. They literally continue, like someone says the punchline of a joke. They go from the end of that shot. They continue into like the next 2 shots. Me and my whole audience were bursting out laughing in just utter delight and joy, and oh my goodness, that is how freaking funny Deadpool is, man. The dialogue is just witty, it's strong, it's great. The story itself as a whole is great. I felt for the relationship between Wade Wilson and his girlfriend Vanessa in this movie. Not only do the actors have really good chemistry, but what they're seen doing together, how they specifically meet and bond together, I really love that. I thought it was creative, I thought it was clever, it was different. It's not something I've seen before in another movie. I love the one specific thing that they connect so well over together, and it's like shown in a montage. I love that whole entire sequence, and I felt for them. I knew exactly how this movie was going to end. I knew what her answer was going to be in seeing this man, her boyfriend, just completely deformed and, not the same person. I knew exactly, how the movie's going to end, but just the journey getting to that point is all the more fun and entertaining, and that's what I loved about it. Yeah, that's not original, but everything else is about their relationship, and I really bought that and enjoyed it. The movie makes fun of cliches in other superhero movies, okay? Just how better could you get? I love every time this guy breaks the 4th wall, man. I love that because it connects with the audience perfectly in that way. The post-credit scene in this movie is just freaking genius, okay? I'm not going to say what it's making a parody of, but it's just so freaking funny. So that's enough about the script. The script is perfect. Ryan Reynolds is just amazing. He's perfect, alright? He fits this role perfectly. He was born to play this role of this really fast-talking, wisecracking, just asshole, essentially. That's what Deadpool is. He's an asshole, but what he's doing it for the person that he loves. He's doing it for himself, and I love that about that character. The character is very well fleshed out. Ryan Reynolds' performance is amazing, in my opinion. Even the minor characters, and it's not just Ryan Reynolds who really carries this movie and makes me gut-bustingly laugh. The script is so great. All the minor characters are also really, really strong and really, really funny in this movie. T.J. Miller he's the comic relief totally in this movie. They spoof that in the main title sequence. But they gave him great lines, okay? They threw in some other supporting characters that were totally fun and interesting to watch. We have some cameos from 2 X-Men in the X-Men universe because Deadpool is connected to that universe in a way. That is an amazing moment as well to have that go on. It's just all this going on in such an incredible story. And the way that the film is cut together, it's not your classic cut and dry, just linear storytelling where, okay, here's the origin story, here's the man, Wade Wilson, here's his problem, okay, now here's his new dilemma, he's fixed, now he's going to go hunt after the people who did this to him, blah, 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 he's got to save his girlfriend. Yeah, it's not edited together in that way, and I love that about this movie. I love the editing choices, and I really, really applaud that for this movie. I definitely just gotta give this movie a lot of praise for that. The action sequences are incredible. They're over the top, they're gory, they're violent, they're filled with blood and guts, and just so much humor in them as well. The movie is just loaded with humor, and it's so much better and funnier than half of the comedies we get. This is like a Zac Efron, Seth Rogen, James Franco comedy, but like tenfold is so much more raunchier and filled to the brim with dozens upon dozens of sexual innuendos, and it's just so freaking hysterical. The cast, everything about this movie is amazing. If I had to complain about one thing with Deadpool, I would say this much. The villain itself, while he definitely is not like some of the villains we've gotten in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which are just they're forgettable. He stands well on his own, but my only problem with him is I wanted to see more of a backstory on him per se, because when we get to the final conflict between him and Deadpool, I really didn't feel the stakes being as high as I wanted them to be, because I didn't know a ton about him as a villain, or as an antagonist of the movie. So I really just wanted more time spent on that character. Other than that, that's essentially nitpicking at this point. Everything else works with Deadpool. It's outrageous, it's hysterical, it's funny, it's witty, it's original, it's refreshing. It's all those adjectives. I had such a blast watching this movie. Please go out and see it. I am going to give Deadpool a solid grade of a 9.25 out of 10, or a grade of an A-. Definitely recommend you guys check this one out. You will not be sorry. It is hysterical. It is amazing. It is a great comic book movie. Hardcore R-rated comic book movie. Just no kids, okay? I don't know why so many kids were in the theater watching this movie with me. Leave your kids at home, parents, all right? This is for the adults. This is for the teenagers, the older teenagers. You guys are going to love it, okay? It's just freaking great. Completely blew me away. Guys, those are my thoughts on Deadpool. Thank you so much for watching. Again, sorry for the lack of videos, guys. I'm going to try to get as many out as you as I can in the next couple of weeks. I'm so sorry about that. I hope you guys enjoyed my review. Go check out Deadpool. What did you guys think of it? If you've seen it, let me know down below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.